what he does well, I have question marks. So I'm excited to see how I'm going to perform under the night.
Definitely, and I can't wait. I'm going to be here.
Any of the guys, they're all good. They're good fighters. All of them are good fights. And, and AJ's fighting for if he carries on and fights on, he's fighting for his career. He can't afford another loss. He is fighting to stay or to get back on that top table.
I just want to go in there and do my job. I've got nothing to prove. I've got nothing to show. I just want to go in there and enjoy myself.
Moses, you're a destructive, powerful man. No, I certainly wouldn't want to be on the end of one of your backhands. Do we expect to see that same destruction come down?
No, hopefully. I'm not gonna say anything, but hopefully, yeah.
Breaking news. Moses Itauma has sent shockwaves through the boxing world after signing a massive fight contract and firing a bold warning toward Anthony Joshua. Fans are stunned by the young heavyweight's confidence as he promises to dominate the biggest challenge of his career. The tension is rising fast ahead of a potential blockbuster showdown.
Joshua he's not an athletic boxer per se. Looks good, body beautiful, muscles coming out of his ears, ABCD. But in my eyes, that all slows you down. Now, if you look at Dubois, on the other hand, he's still a specimen. He's still a big guy, big, strong, powerful guy, but he's not as ripped as Anthony Joshua. He is a lot more flexible than Anthony Joshua.
Moses says he will go in there to fight Joshua and try his absolute best, and says that is all anyone can ask of him. Moses says he is genuinely not bothered about what people expect from him, because at the end of the day, it has absolutely no impact on his life. That kind of mentality is truly frightening for Joshua.
I'll go in there and try my best, and that's all what someone can ask from me.
Is the expectation something that do you think has changed?
I'm not really bothered about what people expect from me, because at the end of the day, it has no impact on my...
Ben Davison makes the most important point anyone has made about this entire fight. He says Moses is not the kind of fighter you need to catch at the right time in their career. Ben says Moses is simply good enough to compete with absolutely anyone, including Anthony Joshua, at any point in their career. That is a genuinely terrifying statement.
That step up is the right thing to do for Moses at this point.
Yeah, it's not a case of where he's at in his career. I've said this before, Moses isn't the kind of guy that you need to try and catch people at the right time in their career. He's good enough to compete with them at any point in their career, any of them.
Joe Rogan steps back and reminds everyone just how absolutely gigantic Anthony Joshua truly is. Rogan says Joshua is so big that punches which knock other people out cold, he simply EATS without blinking. Rogan is basically saying Moses is walking into something genuinely enormous here, and the whole boxing world is wondering if even Moses can handle that size.
Yeah.
Anthony Joshua's gigantic.
So big.
He's so big. He's so much bigger. So, of course, his punch that he knocks cold with, Joshua just eats it.
Yeah.
Because he's a giant.
Yeah.
He's a fucking giant man.
So big, dude.
Adam Smith lays out the most impressive facts about Moses right now. He says Moses has won all 12 fights, won every amateur fight, and has 10 stoppages in the professional ranks. Smith says he is blowing absolutely everyone away. But Smith also says something really important. Joshua's fight is the first real test, and the first genuinely serious questions for Moses Itauma that need answering about this extraordinary young man's true level.
Moses Itauma's biggest test so far, he's won all 12. He won every amateur fight, 10 stoppages so far. In the pro ranks, he's blowing everyone away. What I love about him, guys, is the fact that all the other heavyweights talk so highly of him. And now's the sort of first real test, the first questions to be answered by.
Ben Davison says something that should make everyone watching genuinely nervous for Joshua. He says Moses is simply one of the most dangerous men on the planet to be stood in front of. Ben acknowledges there is a massive gap in skill and experience, but then says something absolutely chilling. Moses is one of, if not the most devastating punchers in all of world boxing right now.
One of the most dangerous men on the planet to be stood in front of and to get hit by. There's no two ways about that. That's the bigger, obviously there's a gulf in skill, massively, but on top of that, the man opposite is, one of, if not the most devastating puncher in world boxing.
Johnny Nelson says something that actually gives Joshua genuine credit and says he likes the fact that AJ is still trying to improve himself. Nelson says Joshua knows something is just not quite right yet and says he is genuinely trying to fix it. The whole boxing world respects that hunger from a man who has been through so much. But the question everyone is asking is whether that improvement is happening fast enough, because Moses Itauma is not going to wait around for anyone to find their best form.
I like the fact that AJ is still trying to improve himself in some aspects. I like that, and he knows there's something that's just not right, because he's thinking.
Eddie Hearn delivers the most honest and most concerning assessment of Joshua going into this fight. Hearn says Joshua is still going to be genuinely dangerous because all the incredible attributes he has still completely exist regardless of his mental state. But then Hearn says something about Itauma that stops everyone cold. He says he sees a kid in real pain and says he genuinely cannot understand how the people around Moses Itauma can look at his recent behavior and feel completely comfortable with what they are seeing from a man about to face Joshua.
But he's going to be dangerous. Like, all the attributes that he has, they still exist, regardless of his mental state. But I see a kid in pain, you know? I've got to be honest with you, like, I don't see how people around him can be looking at his behaviour and being comfortable with it. And
Derek Chisora delivers the most brutally honest warning to Anthony Joshua that any friend could possibly give. Chisora says straight up, do not let Moses knock you out, because that will be nightmares forever. But then Chisora says something that perfectly captures exactly what Joshua needs to do in this fight. Chisora says AJ simply has to go in there and kill him first. The whole boxing world completely agrees, because against Moses Itauma there is absolutely no second chance if you let him settle into his rhythm.
I will say this to AJ, don't let that guy knock you out, because that will be fucking nightmares forever. But one or two, put it this way, AJ has to kill him.
Tyson Fury steps forward and delivers the most tactical advice about how to actually beat Moses Itauma, and says just knock him out and do the absolute best you can. Fury reminds everyone that Moses was hurt by a body shot before and went down heavily. Fury says maybe land that same body shot again and put this young man completely down. But the whole boxing world is asking a very uncomfortable question right now. If Moses is so easy to body shot and knock down, then why has nobody managed to truly stop this extraordinary young man in 12 professional fights, where he has been the one doing all the stopping?
Okay, knock him out. Because I wouldn't say that, because it's in England and, you know, it's on his home show, so just do the best you can, that's it. Best you can. It hurt him before with a body shot, put him down heavily, so maybe he can land that same body shot, put him down again.
Duke McKenzie steps back and reminds everyone of the most important thing about this entire extraordinary fight. He says it is still a fight that genuinely interests him, and says it interests absolutely everybody. Duke says these are still two of the biggest names in world boxing, and he simply does not care what anyone says about that. The whole boxing world completely agrees with Duke, because when you have a young lion who has knocked out 12 people in a row facing an experienced former world champion who has been through absolute wars at the highest level, you do not need to sell this fight. It sells itself completely and immediately.
It's still a fight that interests you?
It's a fight that interests everybody, isn't it? Because it's still a massive fight. They are still the two biggest names in world boxing. I don't care what anybody says.
Joshua steps forward and delivers the most confident and most composed statement about signing this contract. AJ says if you know the history of boxing, you make sure you get your legal terms completely right. Joshua says that is why you get good management and good lawyers, and says of course he is going to sign. The whole boxing world loves seeing this side of Joshua, calm, professional, completely unbothered by all the noise around him. Because a Joshua who signs contracts without drama, knows his legal rights, and walks into a fight with Moses Itauma with complete composure is a genuinely dangerous version of AJ that Moses has never seen or faced before.
You know the history of boxing, make sure you get your legal terms right. That's why you got good management and good lawyers.
So of course I'm going to sign a contract. That's just with some lawyers at the minute.
Usyk steps forward after the contract signing and says something that gives this entire fight a completely new and deeply fascinating dimension. Usyk says he wants this fight, and says he won it before, and says he will try to help. Usyk says he is even willing to train with the team to help prepare. The whole boxing world immediately reacts with complete disbelief because the greatest heavyweight champion on the planet offering to help someone prepare for a fight against Moses Itauma is the most extraordinary and most unexpected development this fight has produced. It also tells you everything about how highly Usyk rates the challenge that Moses presents, because you do not offer to help prepare someone unless you genuinely believe they are going to need every possible advantage available.
I won this fight. Yeah, I won this fight. Listen, if I do, I will try to help. Yeah, I will try to help.
Joshua is training with your team.
This is right. Yeah. Yes.
Lennox Lewis closes everything with the most wise and most timeless advice that every single person connected to this fight truly needs to hear right now. Lewis says there is simply no use rushing anything, because right now you are still learning everything about this sport and yourself. Lewis says you can never be rushed, and says if you are rushed you are going to produce a genuinely bad result that permanently damages your career. Lewis is talking to everyone in this situation. To Moses, who is being pushed into the biggest fight of his young life. To Joshua, who needs time to fix what is not quite right. And to absolutely everyone watching who wants everything to happen immediately. Because the best fights happen when both fighters are truly and completely ready.
I mean, there's no use doing it right now. Right now, you're learning everything, and you have to wait till the right time. You can never be rushed. If you're rushed, you know, you're going to do a bad result for your career. So it's better to take your time and take it when it's there, when it's ready, when you're ready.
Wise words. Yeah, I think a lot of people will listen to that.
What you just witnessed is the entire boxing world going absolutely crazy after Moses Itauma signed the contract to fight Anthony Joshua and promised to put AJ in a WHELCHAR. Moses said he has question marks about himself, but cannot wait to find out. Frank Warren confirmed it is completely official. Moses said he just wants to enjoy himself and do his job while hinting at massive destruction on fight night. Ben Davison said Moses is simply one of the most dangerous men alive and one of the most devastating punchers in world boxing. Adam Smith said Moses has blown absolutely everyone away across 12 fights. Duke McKenzie raised genuine concerns about Joshua's muscle slowing him down. Johnny Nelson liked that Joshua is still improving himself. Eddie Hearn said Joshua is still genuinely dangerous, but admits he sees a kid in pain. Chisora warned Joshua not to get knocked out, because that would be nightmares forever. Joe Rogan reminded everyone how absolutely gigantic Joshua truly is. And Lennox Lewis closed with his trademark wisdom, saying never rush anything, because rushing always produces bad results. Moses has signed a contract. Joshua has accepted the challenge. And when these two extraordinary heavyweights finally meet, the whole world had better be watching, because something truly historic is coming.